personally online. You want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Man, we have a phenomenal show for you, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, all right, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So keep them coming, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Nobody. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's check out this thread to start. My girl, Lavette Lee, she started off right. Damn, baby. She was in here half hour early, Lavette. Good morning, mommy. She was in here half hour early. She was ready, boy, ready. Black Diamond in the Mickey Ficky house. Black Diamond, what's up, Papa? Patty, how are you? Good morning. Thank you for tuning in, hon. Thank you so much. Cornelia Squalls in the Mickey Ficky house. What up? I love it. I love it. Oh, babe, my girl. My niece, Monica Lara. Monica, thank you, mommy, for tuning in. I appreciate it. I assume you're with Jeremiah. So, Monica, Jeremiah, good morning. I appreciate it. Jerry Billings in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, J-Rock. J-Rock's in the house. Jerry Billing. My man, Be Smooth. Brian Hendren in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Look at the love. This is what I'm talking about. We are fired up. Black Rain in the Mickey Ficky house. Man, sneaking off from work. Shorty. What's up, Mr. Shorty? How you doing, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Man, Starkey loving his monkey. Hell yeah, Starkey loving this joint. Just gonna ball out, baby. Yes, that's what I'm talking. Oh, you think Neighbors, huh? Okay. Malik Neighbors? Okay. Oh, DC's up in this mother Hubbard. Hell yeah, DC's in this joint. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Oh, wait. Your boy, I'm telling you, your boy is fired up. Fired up. And you know what's funny? Those people still, oh, look what they're getting, Caleb. Look what they're getting, Caleb. I was like, okay. Okay. The writing's on the wall. And okay. You want to die in that hill that and pound on the table and just stand on the table for we're drafting Caleb? Go ahead. You're gonna look like a damn fool. But here's a positive note. Okay. There will be a huge support group for those people who believe that. Huge support group. Huge. It's gonna be, I'm telling you, I was up early. So I'm in Arizona. So we're 2 hours behind you. Okay. To my Chicago peoples. Okay. Starkey love, you got it. Starkey, you've been listening to me. You know what's up, Papa. So we're 2 hours behind you. So I was up at 4:30 this morning, which again is no big deal because I'm usually up at 4 o'clock anyway. So we went out to dinner last night, came home. I was in bed by 10 this time, which is midnight Chicago time. I was in bed by 10 and I woke up at 4, which by Chicago time, usually that's my normal routine. I go to CrossFit at 5, I get up at 4. So I got 6 hours of sleep. So I was up, mind you, it's 6 o'clock in Chicago. So I had all the jamokes who responded to some of my late posts and everything and blah, 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 blah. So I've been up. No, I haven't had breakfast yet. Breakfast of Champions, but yes. Starkey love. I'm convinced Bears have multiple offers on the table. Are just waiting for Caleb's Medicals to officially open the pickup for sale. Haven't I told you that? Haven't I told you that? Chess, not checkers, baby. They can't open that up. No one's going to trade for those things if they don't have medicals. And once the Bears get them, all they can say is, hey, listen, we feel comfortable. We feel comfortable putting this number 1 pick on the block. Doesn't mention his medicals, doesn't mention nothing. We feel comfortable putting this number 1 pick on the block. Now you can trade him to whoever they want. Now they got to deal with him. And man, I'm listening to the radio this morning, and again, the arrogance of some people. But you know what? We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later, because you know what? I am going to have quite a few people not like me. I'll put it this way: quite a few more people who aren't going to like me. And you know what? I don't give a rat's backside. I don't care. All right. The arrogance, the thought that, oh, we're the smartest people in the room. Okay. It's going to be fun. Listen, we have a phenomenal show. 9:30. We're getting started early, baby. 9:30. My man, I was going to say Brian Hendren. At 9:30. My man, Fred Pfeiffer from the Big Red Bus is going to join us. We're talking Bulls basketball, baby. The Bulls, they're back and forth. We're going to talk to them. What's going on with them? What are they doing? What's going on with them? So 9:30, we have Fred Pfeiffer. At 10:15, if he gets up, I told, man, come on, dude. My man, Nomad is going to join us today. He's going to join us. We're going to talk Bears and what this trade for Keenan Allen means. I tried explaining to people. I'm like, listen. You are not going to go get a 32-year-old receiver in the last year of his contract, making $23 million. He's got a $5 million bonus due Sunday to let a rookie quarterback develop. Let him develop with a $23 million receiver that you've already given $5 million to before the season starts? And you're gonna put a rookie quarterback and let him develop with that? Come on, man. You know, you're gonna see what you want to see. You're gonna be blind to logic. Yeah, you know what? This is you're right. Justin must be jealous of what Caleb have. Who said Caleb's going to have it? Nobody. My guy's taking some shots about a certain podcast. Finger red number 1. I don't know who that is. Randy B. And oh, snap. Randy B's in the house. What's up? My man in the house, King Booker World. What up, baby? What is up, Papa? Man, Russell Webster. You know, no, I'm not. Well, the arrogance that they have too. I just figured it out who it was. So the arrogance of the podcast platforms. All right, there's a few of them. The arrogance of the people on the radio. Arrogance of people on TV. I'm like, what? And I'm so glad that Ryan Clark came out yesterday, and I don't know if you saw. Oh shoot, Steve-O, dude, do you have that, Steve-O? That thing with Ryan Clark. Let me see. It's amazing how the disrespect that people have toward our guy. It's literally, it's amazing. You sit there and you're like you just don't care. You don't care. Okay? And here's the thing that bothers me. All right, you have quote unquote Bears fans. Here it is. I do have it. Thank you. So here's what we're going to do. This is, man. Here's what we're going to do. Watch this. Harold Warner in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning. Speaking of Ryan Clark, Harold. Here we go. We're going to.
Why do you look so confused, RC?
I don't know why everybody can't see the big elephant.
What's the elephant?
what if they ain't gonna draft Caleb Williams at all?
What does that mean?
Haven't we been talking about the evaluation process? The draft didn't happen. I don't know that Caleb Williams has signed a contract. Has anybody called Caleb Williams and say, hey, Caleb Williams, the Chicago Bears are drafting you number 1 overall. Are you ready to come to Chicago? Do you want us to take you to see the Bean? Nobody ever said that.
The Bean.
Nobody. He is not listening to Drake singing songs about being in Chicago because the chick left him. What if Justin Fields is going to be the only first-round quarterback in the room? What if Justin Fields is going to be the starter and they aren't going to draft the quarterback and they're going to trade away the number 1 pick? Why can't that happen? Why are we so shocked? Maybe Justin ain't been traded because they don't want to trade him.
Is that possible? Is that
That's very possible.
That clip courtesy of ESPN. Is that possible? Of course it's possible. I love it, baby. I love it. I love it. It's going to make for some good conversation today. It's going to make for your boy being a jerk to a lot of people. A lot of people who have, you know what? The same energy. And here's the thing. So when you start going on the attack and start being condescending and arrogant and dismissive, they're going to say, oh, be cool. But it's okay. But it's okay for them to be dismissive and be disrespectful to Justin Fields. All right? So it's okay for that. That's like, here's the thing. It's like you have a girlfriend. And your girlfriend's right here. And you're sitting there talking to your boys about the new girl that you're hollering at, the new girl that you're getting. She ain't even your girl yet. She ain't even your girl. But you're talking about the new girl or the girl the type of girl you want and all the fun you're going to have with her. Man, we're going to go to this. We're going to go to that. We're going to go to, I can't wait to take her out to dinner. I can't wait to take her. We're going on vacays. We're going on weekend getaways. I'm going to buy her I'm going to ice her out, buy her some jewelry. We're going to these festivals. We're going to rooftops and your girl's right here. And your girl's right here. But you're talking about some other girl. And you don't think, and people, Bears fans don't think that's disrespectful. There's no, and then again, people just keep saying there's no market for Justin. Yeah. What did he say? Maybe the Bears, maybe he hasn't gotten traded because they don't want to trade him. There's a mind blow. There's a mind blow. But it's okay. You know what? It's cool because when it happens, they're going to have the world's biggest support group. They can all get on Twitter. They can all get on Facebook. And oh, don't worry, I got receipts. I got all the little thread that I'm in, and I'm just going to put cricket. I'm going to put Kermit the Frog sipping tea. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Just remember, all right, nothing's happened. Just as a quarterback. Until he's not, he is. That's why I'm glad Herb said it, especially the newspapers and the radio. You're talking as if it's happened or it hasn't happened. And now here's the funny part. Now people are starting to adjust. Well, I mean, if it's going to be Caleb and we assume it's going to be Caleb. And so now they're not saying, oh, it's going to be Caleb. They're like, well, we're going to assume. Now they put that caveat on there. We assume it's going to be Caleb. Okay. Mark my words. I did tell you. After the 20th, after they get his medicals, that number 1 pick is going on the trading block. It's up for grabs. You don't have to believe me. That's cool. I had some other guy say, oh, I can't believe you have a platform that puts this out. Okay. So when it happens, I'm going to go right back to him. Man, maybe you should listen to my platform. Maybe you should listen to me. Crazy idea. And everybody's parenting. Why they said, oh, why would you draft or why would you trade for a receiver who runs crossing routes over the middle and Justin doesn't throw over the middle? I'm like, and 2 people said that. I'm like, oh my God, you're listening to, a 4-letter little podcast over there. The 4-letter podcast. I'm like, come on, really, bro? So whatever they say is law. And then it was 2 guys. It wasn't even the main dude who said it. It was 2 other guys. I'm like, these guys have never played football. So, and you're listening to them? You've never played or coached, and you're listening to them? Okay. You could listen to whoever you want. You just sound silly taking your advice from people who've never played and coached a game thing when they're saying stupid things that don't add up. That don't add up. Yeah. But dangerous in front with all the new. I'm telling you, disrespectful. And listen, you think Justin, I can't wait when it's all said and done. When it's all said and done. That's it. Don't worry, we're going to trade that number 1 pick. We're going to trade to get a haul. And this is why. This is why. Oh, you came in late, King Book of World. For all you people who came in late, look what my man Steve did for me. Yeah. Tell me that isn't dope. Let me move this. Let me remove this. Tell me that ain't dope. Time to bear arms. I love it. I love it. All right. This narrative has to stop. This narrative has to stop. The one that's pushing. And I'm telling you, and I was listening this morning. I got up early at 5 o'clock over here. They had Josh Schrock on from NBC Sports Chicago. And man, they were just happy as pigs in slop. Oh man, look what Caleb has. He's going to develop this and this. I'm like, really? You're going to die in that hill. You're going to die in it. We're drafting Caleb Hill. Okay. Okay. You're entitled to your opinion, but the writing's on the wall. It's there. It's there. Oh, well, we're going to talk to Nomad about it at 10:15. He should get up. He should be up. But, hey, guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show? Sorry, I got a little fired up today because people got it. It's so funny when things happen. So here's what's going to happen. And when it happens, I was going to tell you what I'm going to say. I was going to say the day when it happens, but I'll let you. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to say. I'll say it on my show the day it happens. So we'll probably do a live. So if it happens like on a Tuesday or Thursday or Monday after the show's over, Monday, Wednesday, Friday after the show's over, there's the next show. I'm going to come up. I'm going to be the biggest jack. I'm going to go in all those little groups. And, when ones that people want to insult me and call me, oh, you're a clown. You're an idiot. I can't believe you. I thought you played. I thought you coached. I thought this. I thought that. I did. At a pretty high level, too. So, but they said on this podcast that it's not going to happen. They said on this podcast that it's not going to happen. I said, yeah, and? Have they played or coached and haven't? No? Okay. And believe me, I'm okay. I'm okay if you have an opinion. That's not my issue. Don't try and shove your opinion down my throat. Don't try to tell me your opinion, which you took from somebody else who's never played football or coached football, and is better than mine. Is going to supersede mine. You're more than to tell us your opinion. But don't make me try and believe yours. Okay. Not when yours comes from nothing, comes from listening to someone else. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. What are you saying? Oh, Bellissimo in the house from across the pond. Good morning, sir. Vikings are trying to move up. They've traded 25 second. Hey. Okay. They want to jump up. Well, they don't need a QB, but they don't need a QB. See who else. But listen, let's get it started real quick before. Oh, snap. Snicker, snap. Coach T's in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, Papa. How are you doing? Kevin Scott in the house. What's up? Post giving a middle finger to watch. They do. They do. And I'll tell you what, they're gonna come correct. They're gonna come correct. Because it ain't they just traded for some picks. I don't remember what they traded for, what they got in return, but now, didn't I tell you, DC? Didn't I tell you? I just said that. I just checked the thing right now. Didn't I tell you? Now they're like, oh well, I'm on the 4. Oh, 4.5S. Yeah. Didn't I tell you? I didn't get to that one. I said, now they're not saying, oh, Justin's going to be a quarterback. They're like, well, whoever the quarterback's going to be, and we assume it's going to, Caleb's going to be the quarterback. We assume it's going to be Caleb. We assume it's going to be Caleb. We assume, and yeah, why? Because Herb got on that ass. Herb had that tweet yesterday, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, well, you know what? You really can't. We really shouldn't report what's not true or what isn't fact. Fact is, our starting quarterback today, March 15th, 2024, who's under contract is Justin Fields. Justin Fields does have a job. Justin Fields isn't looking for a job because he isn't going anywhere. Justin Fields hasn't been traded because he wasn't going to be traded. But what do we know? What do we know? And here's the thing. Just the more facts that you point at these people, the more they fight back. That's okay. You're going to die on that hill. We want Caleb. We're drafting Caleb. Okay. You're more than welcome to die. I told you got a big support group. You have a whole bunch of little podcasts to go to, radio shows to call up and be like, oh my God, Ryan Poles is the worst GM in the history. How could he fumble this? Fire him. No, it was Kevin Warren. Kevin Warren liked Justin Fields. He should be fired. Stick to the stadium. You don't know shit. No, you have all the little other podcasts that you can go to and cry about it. You have all your Facebook things you can go post. You have Twitter you can go post. You can go call on the radio stations and cry with them. All right. So what happens when that 13 Williams jersey that dude got, is that a collector's item or what? Because Keenan Allen is here first. Keenan Allen's we got the 13. Bears 13. That's Keenan Allen. So it's interesting. It's going to be fun to see. All right. You show them facts. You say, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. Nope. And then you tell them, well, but Justin wasn't put in the best position. Yeah, you're right. He wasn't put in the best position. But still, it's still okay. Hey, you can lead a horse to water. Oh, my man, James Ford in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, James. James Ford in the Mickey Ficky house. I'm telling you, we are lit in this chat. Mother Hubbard, are we lit? Woo, Charlie. Leo Factor's back in his mug. Good morning, Leo. Whew. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. So on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about the Bulls, baby. Had a rough one yesterday. No Coby White. That one hurt. How long is he going to be out? I don't know, man. I don't know. But the game the night before, hey, the marvelous, the DeRozan, Compton's finest. We're going to talk to my man, Fred Pfeiffer. All right. From ChicagoBullseye.com. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. I'm telling you, this show's going to be lit like a mother Hubbard today, boy. I'm fired up in Arizona. I told you I woke up at 4 o'clock dealing with these jamokes. I'm just telling you now. That's why I keep it a buck. You know what people hate the most? The truth. That's what they hate the most. The truth. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Well, let me say this. Given everything that's happened over the past 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it is, where's the spot for Justin Fields to start?
Yeah.
The best place for him to be is in Chicago. And if he remains in Chicago, which is assuming that they trade down, get a haul for that #1 overall pick, the best spot would be for him with the Chicago Bears, once again, making sure they go out there and get one of those top 3 receivers, continuing to build the offensive line. There's a lot of confusion of what's going on with Justin Fields. I was doing my own podcast last week, and, there were reports that the Bears aren't moving on from Justin Fields. I'm doing that podcast, and people are texting me, sources saying, no, they're moving on. So it's very confusing right now. But if the Bears hold on to Justin Fields, he is going to have a remarkable season, because that would assume that they get a huge return for the #1 overall pick, or they use the #1 overall pick on a receiver. So I think the best spot for him right now is to remain in Chicago.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That clip courtesy of the NFL Network. That is Adam Rank. I wonder how that conversation goes, because he's a good friend with the podcast that is on the other side of the fence. Just wonder how that conversation goes. But anyway, my next guest, I'm fired up to talk about it, man. I'm tired up. Oh, I'm tired up. I'm fired up, man. The Bullies. Didn't I tell you? I said, listen, they might not be good, but they're exciting. And if you watched the game 2 nights ago, Lord have, man, I was watching that game with Moms, and she was going crazy. Mom's a big sports fan. She I played baseball, football, and basketball, so she was at my games. She had nothing. She had no choice but to be a sports fan. And it was a phenomenal game. And then yesterday it was tough. So my next guy, we're going to talk about it. And where do the Bulls go from here? All right, we got some people coming back. Man, he's a good friend of the program. You've seen him on here once or twice or 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Who knows? Maybe 5. Who knows? You can find him on Twitter at CBE Fred. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Fred Pfeiffer. Fred, what's up, Papa? Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Shawn. Great, exciting times for the beloved Bears and the Bulls to a little bit of a lesser extent after that disappointing loss yesterday. But overall, I mean, considering the amount of injuries, the amount of rotation players that are out for this team, I think you got to be somewhat happy with their play after that horrific 5-14 start.
Let me tell you something. My little Fire Marshal Bill impersonation.
There we go. Live in color. Love it.
We did get some good news, though. We got some good news. Okay, Lonzo Ball is back running and cutting. He's doing it now. He's not football. He's not basketball ready, but he's out there. This is the most progress we've heard about Lonzo Ball. You throw Lonzo Ball in the mix, this is a completely different team. This is a completely different team with Lonzo Ball. I'm not putting them in the NBA Finals. Okay, I am putting them in the middle of the pack as far as the play. The top, they're in the top 8. That's for damn sure. Hell, he had this team with the best record in the NBA in the East, number 1.
Yeah. But Shawn,
Lonzo Ball coming in next year, most likely.
I would be shocked if Lonzo comes back. I know some of the we're all excited about the news that he's been cleared to take on greater, more work, but unfortunately for this injury was so severe, very few players have come back and at least come back at that level. I think this is a no-win situation for the Bulls with Lonzo because he's going to get paid $20 million again next year. And do you really feel comfortable, no matter how well he plays, about giving him another long-term contract? I don't. Not after that injury or his injury history. I don't think he's ever going to come back and if he does, he won't be near the level that he was at. It's unfortunate, but big picture. People always mention that. I always hear, well, they were doing great when Lonzo was here and they were first in the NBA. Yes, that's true at the time. The Celtics, though, weren't even close to the team that they are now. At that point, they were very disappointing that first half of that season. The Cavs were a completely different team. I think you can argue that the Bucks and other teams like Orlando were completely different teams. The Knicks especially. So, the league has gotten considerably better. The Eastern Conference has gotten considerably better in the interim between when we had Lonzo doing great things with Zach and DeMar. What I find exciting about this year is you've had incredible performances from Coby White, Io, DeMar, Andre Drummond, especially Coby White approaching all-star status, and Io hit with a really nice comeback year. Unfortunately, that's been counterbalanced by disappointing seasons from Vucevic, shooting 28% from 3, Patrick Williams, Zach, Javon Carter, a massive disappointment as a free agent signing, and Dalen Terry. So we're kind of in this weird place, but at the heart of what I do take solace in is that you have Coby White and Io signed for the next 3 years at a very low number, $21 million combined relative to the cap. You can do a lot of great things when you have a young starting backcourt, which I think is the best 24 and under in the league. So there are some good things we can do, but oh man, it's going to take a lot of smart thinking, and I'm not sure. I don't have a ton of faith, to be honest with you, in this front office in getting it done.
Well, let me dive back on this, and I understand. Milwaukee was coming off a championship hangover. Philly had the whole situation with Harden and who's the other guy who went from Brooklyn, who's out for the season?
Ben Simmons.
There you go. Yeah. And that whole situation, and but that's not to take anything away from the Bulls. Yeah, but you know what? Because had they not lost, had they been 4th or 5th, I would have been like, well, what happened to the Bulls? All these guys are horrible. They're having a horrible season. You can't take advantage. They took advantage of the opportunity. They took advantage of the opportunity that they have. So let's not crap on them a little bit just because other people don't have their shit together. It's okay. And believe me, I wasn't putting them in the NBA Finals by any means. No way was I putting them in the NBA Finals. But they might have. I think their ceiling would have been the Eastern Conference Finals, but I don't think they would have got there. That would be if everything went right. But I think they would have got to the round before they got knocked out. But it still would have been a good thing. So I don't want to do that to that team. Just give them their due. Again, no NBA championship we're sniffing, but still. And what you said about this year, I couldn't agree more. Coby White is a freaking stud.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, this is what happens when you put people around a guy and let him develop. Holy jeez, man. That's a great thought process. Have a guy develop. So I love it. Talk to me about what do you think he did? Because he just kept, we saw him. He's been on the trading block for the last, year? Oh, we're going to trade Coby. They're going to trade Coby. And he said, you know what, bump this. Give me your thoughts on his mental fortitude, because that's a lot on a person when all you hear in the newspapers, on social media, from your family, from your friends, I hear they're trading you. Oh, you're still here? Oh, you think you're going? Where do you think you're going? How difficult could that be, and how How tough mentally is this Coby White kid?
He's incredibly tough mentally, and there were signs, though, however, from Coby White starting in his rookie year. He finished his rookie year before COVID with 8 straight games. I think he averaged over 25 points per game. He was playing at a very high level when COVID hit. To start the next season, he had a serious arm injury that kept him out until December. So I really think that put a little bit of an issue in his development. But there were always signs from Coby White. He had 8 3-pointers in his second year in a game. He always showed these signs of having greatness within him and just his incredible work ethic. And there's a really good article that I read recently from Ricky O'Donnell about his offseason, what he did in the offseason to get better. So when you combine a high work ethic with incredible talent and shooting skills of Coby White, I actually wasn't surprised. He closed last year at a very high level. He shot 40% from 3 from the All-Star game to the end of the season. Those last 22 games, he played at a very high level in 20-some minutes per game. So I'm not surprised that he's become this good. I am surprised that he's improved in his areas of passing and really becoming a point guard. That's why I'm kind of like, if Lonzo comes back, what happens? You have Zach LaVine that right now, I don't think you can trade him without attaching an asset to it. And the Bulls cannot be in the business of moving a player and attaching another draft asset just to get him off the roster. So you're in a really difficult situation with Zach LaVine, who's owed a lot of money for the next 3 years. My opinion is you should just keep him and bring him back. Hopefully he'll rebuild his value, which I think is highly probable and possible because people forget how good of a player he is. And just go into next year with Coby at the point guard position, Zach at the 2. Hopefully you re-sign DeMar for 2 years, $30 million, $25 to $30 million a year. You got Vooch, you're stuck on that contract. And then, figure out what you're going to do at the power forward position if you want to commit long-term to Patrick Williams. And what's he going to cost, because he will be a restricted free agent. So it's tough. But I do also feel like development, you look at Dalen Terry hasn't developed. Marko Simonovic didn't develop. It's like, to me, development is more it's not necessarily the team, it's in that player. How hard is that guy willing to work? How hard is that guy willing to put in the effort to become great? And Coby White has done that, and I think he's going to be an all-star and one of the best players in the history of this organization.
Guys, we're joined by Fred Pfeiffer from Chicago Bullseye, ChicagoBullseye.com, talking Bulls basketball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I agree with you to a certain point. There's got to be a point that you have to be responsible for your development. But, coaching is important. All right? That coaching is unbelievably important, and that is not going to be that's not going to be lost by me on any team, whether my football team, my basketball team, my baseball team, our hockey team. Okay? That's important. And they haven't done a good job to this point. I think with basketball, it's a little different, but you need time. You need time on the court. You can sit there and practice all you want, all right, in the off season, okay, but you need time. And then when you get that time, you've got to perform. They've given Patrick Williams time. He's been out there. There have been times when DeMar and Zach were hurt and he went out. There were times, but we've seen him in summer league, like just going ham on people. I know it's summer league, but where's that? It's the attitude. So I like Patrick Williams. I really do. And I wish he would develop. I don't know if he will. He's the enigma to me because he's got that talent. He's got the body. He's got the talent. He's got the mentality when Zach and DeMar are off the court. That's the issue, bro. Like, really? They have to be off the court for you to be fired up? I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do with that dude. I don't know.
I'll say, though, if you look at his numbers, there have been a few games where he's played. It's not a massive sample size, but I went deep into the numbers where DeMar was off the court and when he played. And his numbers are basically the same as they were with DeMar on or off the court. Like, that's one thing I really bothered me this year is there's a huge contingent of Patrick Williams believers who felt like we got to move DeMar. We have to move DeMar so we can give Patrick a chance to succeed. This team does not get to the free throw line. There's only one player in his team that gets to the free throw line, and that's DeMar DeRozan. If you took him off this roster, it would be an epic disaster because he's the only guy who gets to the line. He's the only guy who can consistently score in the half court, really, now with Zach gone. I looked at the free throw attempt numbers. Zach LaVine is still 4th on the team. He's played 870 minutes. Vooch is still behind him in free throw attempts. The only guys who have shot more free throws than Zach LaVine on this team are DeMar DeRozan, Coby, and Andre Drummond. Patrick Williams is a fine three-point shooter. There is value in that. He's a role player. He doesn't get to the line. He doesn't rebound. He's not aggressive. He's not a good passer. There are so many negatives in his game that people just want to ignore and act like if you get rid of DeMar, it's suddenly going to flourish. He didn't rebound in college. Why should I expect him to rebound now? He's a 4 whose strength is guarding threes. And I mean, it's like I don't understand the arguments for Patrick Williams needs to flourish by moving DeMar, because to me that's pure insanity. And I don't know. I've kind of talked a little bit too much on this topic. He has value. I would pay him $15 million a year off of that contract. But if he's going to get $25 million, let him walk. He's not. He hasn't proven anything to me that he deserves that type of contract.
I agree. I don't have an issue with that at all. And personally, I think they're going to re-sign DeMar again. I think your thoughts on that? Because I know he's 39 and shit, or 40, something like that. But I'm kidding, of course. I'm exaggerating for effect. Okay, but the dude still got it. And the thing is, he's converted to Billy Ball. Like they're up and running. Like they're up and running with him. He changed his game, and you know damn well that you got a closer at the end of a game. You know damn well that he is there if crunch time comes and you need a shot. But I'm also liking the fact that Coby is a dude you can go to in crunch time when you need a shot. That gives us a lot, because now DeMar can do his thing. If they want to send another guy at him, man, Coby can come off a screen and knock down that three. The fact that Coby has been developing, the fact that Coby has gotten that, he's starting to get cold steel. I know cold steel on ice, a term, but he's starting to get this cold steel in his veins, and I love it. He wants to give you that dagger, that game-ending dagger. And now if you have two guys like that on the team, come on, man. It's good. That's a very, very good setup to have two guys like that who with that mentality at the end of a game.
Yeah, and he's a great leader for the rest of the team. I had personally witnessed him at a Windy City Bulls game on a Saturday about a year ago, watching Dalen Terry. I don't think there's many all-stars or players of that type of caliber that would be willing to spend their own time on a Saturday night, support a teammate. DeMar DeRozan's a fantastic leader, fantastic human being, and I can't recommend – I really hope the Bulls re-sign him, because I don't know what you do. Like, if you lose him, he's literally shot twice as much as 493 free throw attempts compared to number 2 on a team, which is Coby White at 223. That's one of the most undervalued skills, is that ability to get to the free throw line. So
yes,
I can't say enough about DeMar DeRozan. I want him to sign him ideally for 2 years between 25 and 30 million. I'm not sure if they can. My nightmare scenario is that they give him a third year like they did for Vooch, which absolutely kills you, because in that third year you have a combined 21 million allocated to, I think that's the 25-26 season, to Coby White and Io. So that's a huge opportunity. $21 million to those two players. You're going to have all that extra cap space if you can move, assuming you can move Zach LaVine. And then you can't just have sign him to a 3-year deal. Put in Vooch for $20 million in that third year, just devastating. Sorry.
I'm not sure what they want to do. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. One guy I do know what they want to do with him is, because they didn't move him, is Alex Caruso. Talk to me about how he is. I'm loving this dude every single time. We keep saying the same things about this dude, but the things we keep saying are so damn important for a team to win, because this guy just has it. He does all the little things that you need defensively. Like, he's a pain in the ass as far as handling the passing lane, getting steals. Every time I hear Stacey go, nom, 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 cookies, hand a cookie jar, I love it, because this dude does what it takes to win. And believe me, you ask LeBron if he wouldn't want to have Alex Caruso back on the Lakers.
No doubt about it. And the thing about Caruso this year, he had 5 3-pointers yesterday, which was he had 5 the previous game against the Pacers. So he's tied his career high in 3-point attempts 2 games in a row. He's hit over 100 made 3-pointers this season. His previous career high was 55. He's just upped his game at that level. It's just beyond belief what he's been able to accomplish. He's going to be all defensive team again, first or second team. He's just been great, and it makes it so disappointing that this team, it hasn't the other guys on the team haven't stepped up, because along with him, Io and Coby, I mean, they've really done some special things this year, and it's really kept this team afloat.
It really has. I'm glad. Talk to me about Billy. So what do you think is going into next season? Well, first of all, do they make the playoffs? Do they make the play-in? Do they make the playoffs? What do you see this Bills team doing? Because right now they're just up, down, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, and they're kind of they haven't put the game like a 3 or 5 game win streak together, because I think that would be huge moving them forward, because they're kind of stuck where they're at right now. I think they're, you know what I mean, but they could lose some or they could win some. What do you think?
They're 3.5 games behind the Heat right now for 8th. They're 2.5 up on the Hawks, who've lost Trae Young for probably the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
I think they're stuck in 9.
I
think they're stuck in 9, and hopefully that will lead a 9-10 matchup at home for the first part of the play-in, and then they have to play the loser to 7-8 seed. So I foresee them finishing at 9, and hopefully this year, unlike last year, they can win both games and get into the playoffs, probably with a first round exit of losing to the Boston Celtics, probably 4-1. That said, I do think it is important and valuable for Isle, for Coby, to get this experience in the playoffs. 15 years ago, I remember the Bulls were in a very similar situation in 2009. I remember driving around the city and listening in February when Dang went out for the remainder of the season.
That's 15 years ago?
15 years ago in 2009. Everybody complaining about the status of the team, talking about how Noah hasn't progressed, talking about how they didn't, although it was exciting to have Derrick Rose on that team, what was his ceiling? And then what happened? The Bulls made a trade for John Salmons. They brought in Brad Miller, and suddenly they're going 7 games against the Boston Celtics in round 1. I think the Bulls are in a
3 or 4 of them and went to overtime.
Exactly. And the development from Noah, the development from Rose in that playoffs was so important for them and their ceiling. So that's why I think it's imperative that they do get in and they do get that type of experience for Coby White, for him to hit his ceiling, for Io to hit his ceiling. And if they end up just losing in the first play-in and not getting to that next step, I think it will be a disastrous season overall.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more as far as experience. You get there, it's a different animal. Playoff baseball, football, basketball, hockey, it's a different animal. And you get there, you get the taste of it, and the one thing that I love is that it's insatiable. All right? Even if you do win the title, all right, even if the team does win the title, you're still insatiable because now you want the title again. So it's great if when you lose on the way, because now you have something to work for and that's your motivation. It's great if you win it because now you're like, I'm the top dog and I want to stay top dog. So it's great. There's nothing better than actually than experience, playoff experience for these guys. One of the guys that I just love, I know he gets out of control sometimes, and that's a walking double and my man Drummond. What give me your thoughts? I just love him, dude. He's like, that's a man's man. I want to meet him. I just want to meet him because like he looks like baby Huey, dude. Like he is that, and I don't mean that in a fat way, sloppy. No. I just mean like a big dude because he's like 6'10", 6'11". He ain't 6'8". That's a big man right there.
Absolutely. I love Drummond. He's a monster on the boards. It's incredible how hard he plays. I think he definitely brings up the game in terms of rim defense, which is a major hole on the Bulls right now. I mean, Vooch's decline on the defensive end is substantial. You saw that against the Cavs. You saw that against these 2 games against the Clippers. Teams are now trying to pull him out on a pick and roll to get him out beyond the 3-point line, and then it's a disaster from that point forward. Drummond offers you a little bit more rim protection, but his numbers are insane for the amount of minutes he plays. And I still don't understand why he doesn't play more. I think you need to take a little bit of Vooch's minutes and give that to Drummond. That's one of my big issues with Billy, is how he's kind of balanced the minutes for those 2 players. And then last night they went with the 2.
Would you like him on the court at the both time? Yes. Or you're just doing that? Do you like him on the court at the same time?
To start the 4th quarter, they were both on the court at the same time, and that actually lineup did a run. I think you can only do that in certain situations because they're not, obviously, if you got a lineup where you got a quick guard on them that they're trying to pick and roll for both those players, you're going to be in big trouble. But that worked yesterday, and it works at certain times. I was shocked it worked yesterday, to be honest with you, in the 4th quarter. But that started, and they took the 20-point deficit down to 8 with those 2. So, right now the roster has so many injuries, and we have such a hole at the 4 position that I think you'll see more and more of that. But, man, I do like Drummond. I'm going to miss him because I can almost guarantee you he will not be back with the team next year.
Damn. Dude, he's a walk. He's just a man's man. I love when he just grabs those rebounds and just snatches them away from people. And what are you gonna do? You're not gonna try. The dude's like 6'12". You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Of course, exaggerating for effect. I know 6'12" is 7 feet, but I love having that physical presence. He's not even that physical, like 90s physical. You know what I mean? But by today's standards, he's physical. So if that's what we got, okay, cool. Then that's what we have. I do like him, and I hope they find a way to bring him back. But I don't know. We'll see. Hey, Fred, awesome stuff, man. As always, dude. Do me a favor though, before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, the biggest pod that I'm doing is the Big Red Bus with the great one, Doug Tonis. We've been doing that for a long time. I highly recommend it. It's available on all podcasts. Just search for Big Red Bus Bulls, and you'll find us. And then also ChicagoBullseye.com. We do show there out at Chicago Bullseye also. And then also you can find me on X or Twitter at CBE Fred. Just look for C Red Fred. But Shawn, it's always good to talk to you. Exciting times for the beloved Bears. Hopefully we can figure out where Fields is going. Get a draft pick for him.
What do you mean? He's not going anywhere.
Here we go. I don't know.
Here's why. And I'm not going to be a jagbag to you because I like you. But here's look at all the things that have lined up. Okay. One, the whole offensive staff was fired. Okay. Yeah. If Justin is a problem, you get rid of the problem. Justin isn't your guy. You didn't draft him. You get rid of the problem. You don't get rid of the whole offensive staff. That's one. Yeah. Two, why wouldn't you allow him to seek a trade? All right, you allow Jalen Johnson to seek a trade. You allow him to go out on the market, okay? But you don't do Justin. If he's not your guy and you need to get rid of him because you're drafting Caleb Williams, you let him go get a trade. That's less work for you. He's bringing your trade partners to you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is trying to control where he's going. He didn't take the money. This is high level stuff, dude. This is it. You got to think like billionaires. All right, it's chess, not checkers. All right, Caleb Williams is trying to choose where he goes. Most likely Washington. Yes. And here's why: he did not take the medicals. So if you do not take the medicals, guess what? No one is trading for that number one pick without knowing that he's okay. No one is trading for that. That's malpractice. That's GM malpractice. So what he's going to do, and that's why they pushed it back. The meeting between the Bears, because once the Bears get his medicals, they put that first pick overall up for sale or on the trading block. That lets everybody know his medicals are okay, without them knowing his medicals are okay, which is why they pushed it back. He doesn't want that. He wants to go to Washington, and it makes sense. Washington, new Magic Johnson, new ownership group. They're trying to get rid of Daniel Snyder stink. All right, and what better way? The local kid, actually, one of my best friends from college was his high school coach. One of the local kids comes back. He put asses in seats. Now you got season tickets who go through the roof. You got merchandising go through the roof. And you got to deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Washington wants to kind of get that, team of the DMV area back because Baltimore has it now. It makes sense, dude. It makes a lot of sense.
So are you saying that you think they're going to trade with Washington so Washington moves up to 1? Then
Yes.
What are they doing at 2? Are you telling me they're going to keep Justin Fields?
Yes, they are keeping Justin Fields. And I think they might even go a double trade because everyone's going to want to jump up for them quarterbacks. And I think if they don't trade it, they take Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they're okay coming off of Marvin Harrison Jr. if they can get a haul.
I'll tell you what, it'll be malpractice if they take. I love Marvin Harrison Jr., but if they take him at number 1 without trading that into like going down to 2 or 3 for draft assets, I think that would be insane. Because the quarterback position, this is too good of a quarterback draft for them not to move off of 1 if you want Marvin Harrison. You either make a trade with Washington, let them move up, or make a trade with New England, or to put yourself in position to get one of those wide receivers. But even so, I mean, now we have 2 wide receivers. I don't see them doing that. I think they're going to take a tackle. They're probably going to trade at 9. They're probably going to take a tackle now. They got 2 wideouts. There's a ton of freaking great receivers in this draft. I'm a huge fan.
But they just signed 2 free agents. They signed a free agent left tackle. They signed the starting center. They got a starting center and a backup center, and they just got another left tackle as well. So I don't know if they're going to take it. And you know what? Let's not forget Brock Bowers either. Because you had Brock Bowers with Cole Kmet, and you had Marvin Harrison Jr. So now you have Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen.
Oh wow! I love Marvin.
That's
Harrison
literally
Jr.
Madden stuff, dude. That's literally Madden stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be shocked. I'm going to say this right now. I'd be shocked if Justin is still on the Bears to start the season. I just still think that would be a very difficult situation because I think so you're saying you don't even think they're drafting a quarterback. They're just sticking with Justin and they're going to try to get draft assets for that position.
Yeah. I think they're happy with Bagent because you saw Bagent. Remember, according to everyone else, Bagent went 2-2. Okay, well, but listen, they're keeping Justin. They're going to do right by him. They're going to. And everyone thought he's going to do right by Justin. Like, what if do right by Justin meant they're going to get him an offensive lineman and more receivers? Oh, there's a crazy idea. You never thought about that because it doesn't fit the narrative. Like, I understand everyone's narrative. I understand this side of the fence. Okay, but I also understand this side of the fence because if you wanted Justin gone, he would have been gone already. You would have traded. And another thing, he would have been traded at the deadline, at the combine. That's when his value was highest. You know why they didn't trade him? Because they didn't want to trade him. Because they said, well, he was put on the block. No, he wasn't. If you listen to people talk, listen to what they say, not what you want to hear. Ryan Poles said people had approached him about Justin. That's not putting Justin on the block. That's saying people are interested in him. Okay, cool. Okay. I'll listen to your offer. All right. Let me get back to him and think about it. And no one did. So people hear that, like, he put him at the deadline. And here's another thing. If you don't believe me, what did he say about Harbaugh? Remember when he said, I haven't talked to Jim Harbaugh? He's right. He probably didn't. He probably spoke to his people.
Yeah.
So when you say, I didn't speak to Jim Harbaugh, now you're getting particular, but words have power. So when he said that, he wasn't lying. So when he said, well, yeah, people approached me about him, that doesn't mean he's on the market. People want to hear what they want to hear. And trust me,
I tell you what, I love Justin, but I will be. I'm also a huge fan of Caleb Williams. I'll be fine either way. I'm kind of more on board with let's draft Caleb and let's go to work and hopefully get a second rounder for Justin or third one. Just because I think he's a better passer. He's a better passer. Not a better runner.
I definitely disagree with you. I definitely disagree with you. Dude,
we can't.
You know what? I'm going to send you a link.
Game against Notre Dame.
No, I'm not. I'm not even mentioning that. Here's my thing. Okay, here's my thing. If Caleb is generational, okay, this is the common term that people wanted to use, which they backed off on very quickly. But if he's generational, why couldn't you be the top 10 team or top 25 team? Okay. And here's why. People say, well, it's a team sport. I'm like, okay, but that doesn't work for Justin. So you're going to use it as a team sport with Caleb, but you can't use it with Justin. When Justin's defense was gutted to the studs, they were playing with semi-pro guys, okay, in 21 or 22, okay? And you expect Justin with DeMar Bird, Smith, Amir Marset, Pettis, with this wide receiving core, your defense is giving up 33 points a game, and you want him to win with that receiving core? With no defense?
Couldn't you say the same thing about USC last year? Their defense
exactly. But when you say that, people say, "Oh, well, USC didn't have a defense." I'm like, "But you used it with Caleb, but now you can't. That doesn't fit with Justin." And I'll tell you this: if you're generational, I'm old enough. I see Barry Sanders play at Oklahoma. Games, generational players. Those are so. If you're a generational player, you couldn't beat a top 25 team, a team you're supposed to lose to. Well, not one of them. You couldn't beat one of them. But because I've seen generational players do it. That's all I'm saying.
But he did that in the previous year. As a junior, he was.
Because he had talent. He had Addison. He had some other talent.
Addison was
awesome. I got you. Yeah. Well, can you do it? Yeah, he was. Okay, and that's cool.
He still was great.
That's why he won the Heisman.
He still was great last year. I mean, I watched the Utah game. They didn't lose that game because of Caleb Williams. They lost because their defense was horrific. And like I hear you. I think big picture here, as Bears fans, we should be happy that there's a lot of good things on the horizon, regardless of what direction they go. But I'm hoping they go with Caleb. What's that?
I agree with you, but I'll tell you this: the Caleb cult, and I call them that because they've divided this fan base. Because you can, like you and I are having a conversation, all right? We're not even calling each other names. We're not doing this. They've been very divisive, very arrogant, very condescending about this pick. to us, to Justin, the media, a lot of other little podcasts are talking, and they're saying, well, Justin doesn't have a job. Well, wait a minute. Justin, to my recollection, is under contract for the Bears. So, yes, he does have a job. And that's like saying you're with your girlfriend. I said it earlier. You're with your girlfriend, and you're talking to your friends about what you're going to do with your next girlfriend. Oh, man, we're going to these festivals. We're going to movies. We're going here. We're going on vacation. And your girl's right here. That's disrespectful. And they've done that. And then you start calling Justin a clown. Then you start all these people. They've caused a divide. And I'm not going to say that a lot of pro-Justin people haven't been that way either. We have been. We got clowns on our side too. All right, jerks on our side. But it started on that point. And I'm like, man, dude, like I thought we're all Bear fans. And then when you get the level of football IQ from different people, well, he threw an interception. Like, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like people don't get it. And they don't understand. Your defense gave up 33 points. He had Smith Amir Marset. He had Demir Bird. He had Pettis. Come on, dude.
Yeah,
but he's 10-28. Okay, you win with that team. you win with Demir Bird.
I agree. And you know what? Winning will cure all. The fan base will come together as soon as they start winning. Whether it's with Caleb Williams or Fields, that's going to happen. I just feel like as far as throwing the ball, Williams is better than Fields.
No, Williams is not. Williams got a much better release. He's got a quicker release. I'm not going to listen. I don't have to like a guy to tell you his qualities, his strengths. I'm not saying that Williams sucks by any stretch. No, the dude's electric.
Yeah,
the dude's electric.
Arm angles.
He's got a quick.
Incredible.
But so does Justin. Justin has various arm angles. See, the thing that people say, like, oh, he's Mahomes. He's the new Mahomes. First of all, people didn't know Mahomes was Mahomes. Even Mahomes didn't know Mahomes was Mahomes when he got drafted. Okay.
Yes, agreed.
And they're like, well, he could throw the ball this way. I said, and so can Justin. Everything. There's nothing that any NFL quarterback now does physically that Justin can't do.
Agreed.
So, hey, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate it. We'll be in touch.
Great. Always good to talk to you, bro.
Justin is him. Justin is him. We'll talk, man. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Take it easy. Have a good one, everybody. Great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Guys, that's my man, Fred Pfeiffer from the Big Red Bus, talking Bulls basketball. Then we snuck a little Bears in. All right? Snuck a little Bears in because we're a little crazy. We're crazy like that. Don't worry about it. Here. Let me get this off But we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my man. He got up. He was kicking it at Studio 54 last night. So I was like, come on, man, you got to get up. He's like, but I'm kicking it. I got VIP. I was like, all right, man. No, I'm kidding. My guy Nomad is going to join us on the other side of the break. We're going to talk a little Bears. So tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your cousins, tell your friends. We got some Bears talk coming up. And it's as you say, it's going to be one. It's going to be one. I love it. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here, folks. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17. Back he goes. Here comes Chubb. There goes the ball. Touchdown! Jones will walk at the left tackle. Time for Fields. Now we are accelerating at the first down. Great tackles, and he's off to the races. And we got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class.
These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
And that's why it just doesn't make sense to hang on.
Why do you look so confused, RC?
I don't know why everybody can't see the big elephant.
What's the elephant?
What if they ain't gonna draft Caleb Williams at all?
What does that mean?
Haven't we been talking about the evaluation process? The draft didn't happen. I don't know that Caleb Williams has signed a contract. Has anybody called Caleb Williams and say, hey, Caleb Williams, the Chicago Bears are drafting you #1 overall. Are you ready to come to Chicago? Do you want us to take you to see the Bean? Nobody ever said that.
The Bean.
Nobody. He is not listening to Drake singing songs about being in Chicago because the chick left him. What if Justin Fields is going to be the only first-round quarterback in the room? What if Justin Fields is going to be the starter and they aren't going to draft the quarterback and they're going to trade away the #1 pick? Why can't that happen? Why are we so shocked? Maybe Justin ain't been traded because they don't want to trade him.
Is that possible? Is that
very possible?
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That clip courtesy of ESPN. Maybe they don't want to trade him because they don't want to trade him. There's a crazy idea. Crazy idea. He hasn't been traded because they don't want to trade him. Hey, why don't you sell your car, bro? I don't want to trade it. I don't want to sell it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm glad he said it. And just listening to people this morning and their take, and they're getting all excited. So I'm going to talk to my next guest. He and I do a show daily. Mondays and Fridays is at 3 o'clock Central. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's at 1 Central. I won't be on there today because I'm actually out in Arizona, if you didn't know, heading to Cubs Sox game in Glendale. All right, so I'll be at the baseball game, drinking some beers, laying out in the sun, trying to bronze my body, baby. Anyway, man, this is my man. He's founded the founder of the Nomad Network. You can find him on Twitter at Nomad Networking. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Nomad, what's up, Papa? How are you? Good morning.
Yo, Shawn, what's good, man? I see No Maniacs up and at it early, man. And my man Shawn done chose the Cubs and White Sox over his homeboy, man. What's up, man?
Hey, all I gotta say is my boy did this. All I gotta say is this. Doop. Time to bear arms.
hey, Shawn. Hey, Shawn, we're going to do right by Justin takes on a whole new meaning now, don't it?
Damn sure does. Look at this.
Man,
that's mad.
I haven't slept good, Shawn, man. I ain't going to lie to you, man, because I told you when we were talking on the phone, man. I told you I was just an extra shot of adrenaline went through me. It just went through me, and I was giddy. It took me a minute to kind of wind down. I'll tell you another thing. everybody in the chat. Hey, how y'all guys doing? Let me see. David, Corley, Terrence Williams, Shorty, what's going on? Brian, I see you. Keith. Let me see. Black Diamond, what's up, man? Miguel Sabdera. I don't want to mess up your name. Miguel, what's up? Queen P. Cornelius, AC Adam. Boy, they are up and at it early, ain't they?
They are, baby. They are. And Terrence T. Will's in the house. I love it, man. This is support. You know why? Because they're tired of the narrative. They're tired of people trying to shove something down their throat. Pause. All right, shove a narrative down their throat that they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear, especially when there are legitimate signs of it not actually going that way. I got up. It was 4:00 in the morning. 6. No, so it's 5. I got up at like 4:30, which was fine by me. I'm usually get up before. I went to bed at 10 last night here this time and woke up at 4. That's 6 hours, so I was good. At 5:00, I listened. They had Josh Schrock on from NBC Sports Chicago, and they were all giddy, like, "Oh, look what Caleb got! Look what Caleb got!" I'm like, "Are you drunk?" I'm like, "Wait, so you're going to spend $23+ million, $5 million, which is due Sunday? Now, mind you, $5 million that's due Sunday. He gets a roster bonus on Sunday of $5 million.
Right?
You're going to spend that on a quarterback that you want to develop?
No.
You're going to do that?"
No.
I was like, come on, man. I said, seriously, like, you're going to just use common sense. You want to develop a quarterback with a guy out of last year of his deal making $23 million, and he's got $5 million in less than 48 hours. You got to give him a 5 large. And this ain't ghetto large. This is 5 large, $5 million. So for a quarterback to develop on it, come on, man.
Hey, Shawn, is like my uncle said, my great uncle, man. He's very, very wise, man. He passed away a couple of years ago, but he said, man, there's one thing not to see something, but don't be a delusional MFer. Don't be delusional. You know what I mean? The delusion is real. I mean,
that's cool.
And these people, Shawn, these people have spent 3 months convincing themselves that this has got to happen. Post has got to do this. Shawn, you ever notice when you hear me talk and we're talking about the possibilities of the things that Post can do? I might say, I think he should. Or if I were Post, I would do this. You never hear me say, no, Post.
Never definitive saying it's done.
Right. Or he needs to do this. It's a whole bunch of entitled people out here that really thought this off season that they were going to basically just pile on him. And this would work in any other time besides now, man. The world of social media and YouTube channels and different people having podcasts have absolutely turned the world of reporting and people that do that kind of work upside down. It's a different world now. You would have ran away with the
Cue up a different world soundtrack. Intro
song.
song.
Man, listen, they would have ran away with that narrative, and Ryan Poles would have been pressured to do exactly what they told him to do. If it wasn't for people like these people in the chat, shows like ours, and just being willing to say, you know what, y'all better back off. Back off. Ain't nobody out here that's entitled to be able to tell a professional at his job what he needs to do. Just because that's what you want, that's your virtue. You don't have a right to do that. And when I see it, I fight back. You know what I mean? And so do you. You know what I mean? It's just the entitlement is rich out there. I mean, very rich. And now that their virtues don't seem to be coming to fruition, the delusions are getting worse.
Dude, in everything. Oh, well, we got this for Justin. We got this for Caleb. I'm like, you do realize, like, I don't know if you realized it last night, but they did just trade away the Commanders, their starting quarterback.
Shawn, not only that,
they just traded that for picks.
Not only that, Shawn. What number is Keenan? Keenan Allen he's probably going in the Hall of Fame. What number does he wear?
Dude, whatever number he wants. He's first in the building.
Number 13. I'm in
the building.
He wears number 13. There ain't no rookie coming in there and taking no probably perennial Hall of Famer his number.
He's in the building.
Man, it's just crazy, man.
First come, first serve.
I was absolutely ecstatic, man.
Dude, so you know what? All that radio host who got that jersey, that's gonna be a collector's item. Hey, you know what it's gonna be like? It's like the shirts for the NCAA and the Super Bowl losers that they send over to like Africa.
Man, oh man. You know what, Shawn? This thing is.
Sorry, I'm being a jag bag, but that's okay. You know what? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry because you know what? The arrogance and the contempt and the condescension from the people who are pro Caleb. I won't even call him Caleb cult right now. Caleb cult, and from the people who are pro Caleb has been unbearable. It's been the insults that they've called many of us. Oh, you're stupid. You're a clown. You're this. What the? I thought some dude said today when I was up at 5 o'clock texting or tweeting, I thought you played. I said, yeah, I did at a high level, and I coached at a high level, which is why you should listen to me instead of two jamokes on a 4-letter podcast who've never played or coached at all. So you want to say what they say? Okay. You may want to listen to who you're getting your football information from. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Man, Shawn, you want to see some straight up crazy? You know how I talk on Twitter. I mean, I just go out there and I speak my mind. I say what I say, and I just leave it out there for the world to deal with. It's just my opinion, right? And about 48 hours ago, if you got time when you get off of here, man, go look at my timeline about 40 hours ago. Boy, I got a good one on there. Real doozy, man. He is. I mean, all I did was what I normally did. Man, this dude came at me slinging all kinds of insults. And you know what the problem is, Shawn? It's the craziness inside some of these people. I mean, if I was somebody that didn't have a voice or didn't have a name that everybody kind of is familiar with on that app, you know, he probably wouldn't say anything if there wasn't so many likes every time I spoke. But because so many people liked it and it went against the grain of what he wants to hear, oh man, I was everything under the sun. Everything but what my mama named me. And I just, man, it's so funny though, because I just tore him up with kindness, man. And he got so mad at me. He was just like, would you stop responding to me? I'm not gonna meet him with fire, you know, because that's just miring yourself into a whole bunch of BS. It's gonna take all your time. I was tearing him apart with kindness, man. And boy, oh boy, it was funny, man. You just gotta see it.
I do, and that's what I've usually done. I've attacked people with kindness, but sometimes when you start, and sometimes you get triggered, and it's like, and I have to remember, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss, you know. And so they're happy, and then when I heard two people came at me like, why would you? They asked why they would trade for a receiver who runs crossing routes when Justin Fields doesn't throw in the middle.
Oh my God!
I said,
really?
What? I said, well, I know who you listen to now. Just tell me you listen to this particular podcast without telling me you listen to this particular podcast. I said, because now I know who you listen to. I was like, and then it was two guys that he mentioned who don't play football, never played football, never coached. I'm like, so you're listening to two guys. You're getting your football information from two guys, okay, who haven't played football, who don't coach football, and are going to tell you what about football. I'm like, where does that? Where in anywhere does this make sense? So you're going to listen to a guy who. You're going to listen to a guy who, I don't know, is a chef and listen to him about how to fix a car? Hey, does that make sense? Because he drives a car. So he means he should know how to fix a car. Because people watch football, they know what's wrong. Okay. I'm like, okay, you listen to whoever you want. It's a free country. I'm like, you just may want to vet the process a little bit. I'm not saying, just saying.
Man, they have turned that space Twitter. Elon Musk has done a number. And then he's invited they create their own reality, their own echo chambers. It's like the truth is what they're avoiding. So we forget the truth. We'll just get together as a group and we'll create our own reality. And this is what it is. And everybody else that, you know, comes in and doesn't have those same virtues or speaks in a different language, in truth, you know, we got to be against them. I mean, it's the ultimate S show of an app, you know. Just go in there and tell the truth, and people are gonna
don't do that.
Oh, man.
Don't do that,
man.
Don't point to legitimate signs that things are going to go a certain way if it goes against their narrative. Don't do that.
Oh my Lord, man! They are allergic to the truth, man. It's like,
so let's the hell with them. Let's talk about us and Justin's new haul. Okay. This is what Ryan Poles is talking about when I got to do right by Justin. Talk to me about what Keenan Allen can bring to this team with DJ Moore, with Cole Kmet, with Swift, with Herbert, with whatever wide receiver. I shouldn't say assume. I hope, because I'm not giving you definitives. I will give you the definitive that we have Keenan Allen as a wide receiver for the Chicago Bears, and the starting quarterback today, as of today, March 15, 2024, is Justin Fields. That is a fact. It ain't opinion. That's not narrative. That's not nothing. That, my friends, is a fact.
Well, I think people ought to, if you're not open to the possibility of Justin Fields staying and being the number one quarterback, I think there's enough writing on the wall that at least if you haven't crossed that threshold to even have that thought, there's at least enough writing on the wall for even you to start considering the fact that it's a good chance Justin's coming back and being the quarterback of this team. And he meant that doing right by Justin, the intent was to build some things around him. Let's see what kind of ceiling he has. And so that's what, if I were anybody who hadn't considered that, that's what I would do if I were you guys. But I digress. Here, let me tell you something. I said that the best way I could, Shawn, man.
I know you did. I was like, man, you sound all educated and stuff and nice.
Man, I try not to, because Shawn, at the end of the day, man, the truth is they're fans just like us. They're fans just like us. They're just crazy right now. They're just crazy. And I'm just trying to reach out to them the best I can, man. That's just the way I'm built. But look, if you guys want to do yourselves a favor, like I'm a DB. And in order for me to get the counter narrative of how receivers see the field, how they see the game, how they get off the ball, and what they're looking at, one of my favorite receivers, I think, is going to be if he's not in the Hall of Fame, I think he's going to be, is Steve Smith. And so you want to see, if you guys want to see a good breakdown on what Keenan Allen brings to the table, Google Steve Smith breaks down Keenan Allen. And he gives you, it's so well defined. Man, what Keenan Allen is probably the most savvy receiver in the league. And I say that lightly because I think there's some pretty good savvy receivers in the league, but I think he's right there at the top of the echelon. The guy's not so fast. He's got deceptive speed. His foot quickness is elite. And how he gets separation and how he plays on a defensive back's leverage, and I say that word with a lot of emphasis. He will use a defensive back leverage and absolutely make him look like a clown out there. He is the master at getting himself open in one-on-one situations. He's a zone killer. We've absolutely got one of the elite receivers in the league. Now we got two of them. And this guy's 31 years old, man. You don't go and get a guy with his caliber and DJ's caliber to win 2 and 3 years down the road. We've absolutely got two stud receivers, and I keep seeing that kind of exclude drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. I think not. Exactly what you want when you know you're going to onboard new receivers is mature veteran receivers that can help bring them along. It's an absolute dime piece of a move, Shawn, and I can't wait to see that come together.
I can't either. And this is the thing. People, I don't understand the lack of patience. Okay, and here's the problem with this. Don't sit there and say, oh, and run to the next new toy when you haven't developed your toy. When you haven't developed what's in the house. And that's the thing. And I'm excited to see what our generational quarterback Justin Fields can do. And people have said they called me all kinds of names. What's generational? They throw his stats up. I'm like, dude, don't throw stats at me because I'll throw them back in your face. I said, I can use stats to build my narrative on why Justin hasn't been as successful as we want him to be. But look at what happens and people say, well, do you need everything around Justin to be perfect? I said, no. But look what happens when Justin has the best talent. Look at Ohio State. What did he do? He led them to 2 college football playoffs and 1 national championship game. So if you get him the best talent, maybe he can lead us to a couple of Super Bowls because now he's got where would you put this wide receiver core right now? Before we even draft a wide receiver, where would you put this dynamic duo right now in the NFL?
Top 3 to 5. Top 3 to 5. It's man, I'm telling you, here's the thing, Shawn. They were curious about what would happen if you put an elite receiver around him. So boom, here came DJ Moore. Moore goes out and has a career year. And so Foles feels encouraged that all we got to do is put the pieces around him. Justin will thrive. Justin will thrive if you put the right people around him. And he's got 2 elite separators. The guys that, you can't really necessarily now that you got Keenan Allen. You put them in a triple stack on one side. Who are you gonna even if it's just those two and Komet in that stack? But we know it's gonna be a couple of new receivers that come on board. But just put him, Komet, and Keenan Allen in a stack. What do you do with that? Somebody's gonna wiggle free, and you can't double team anyone. I mean, just the options are endless, and we have a guy that has a mind for
bingo.
The guy that we just brought in the building is well regarded for his creativity, his on the fly ability to be able to game plan and
adjust
to the man. Dude, there is nothing that I don't think Justin Fields could do when he has the right weaponry around him and he's got the right play caller to script it up. Now, there's nothing I don't think he can do. Absolutely nothing.
And I'm super excited about this, and here's why. You draft Marvin Harrison Jr. or you get Malik Neighbors. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I got a microphone thing here and it slipped it down. And anyway, you get a Marvin Harrison Jr., you get a Malik Neighbors, you get a Romeo Dunze. Okay. Now you got the X and the Z. Tell me how much more dangerous, or that's an old word I just made up. How much more dangerous would DJ Moore be in the slot, in motion? Talk to me about that.
Oh my goodness! See, that's what's so got me so giddy, man. DJ Moore and Keenan Allen are very versatile, very versatile. Keenan probably does his most damage out of the slot to defenses. You put him in a slot against man coverage, man, you don't even have to watch your progressions. Just watch that dude. He's going to get open. You just watch him, wait until he breaks on a DB, and then boom, just toss that ball out there and let him run. That's how good he is and elite he is at getting separation. DJ is the same way, but it's the amount of things that you can do to feed off of both of those guys' talent. And how you can scheme things up is, man, it's astounding. It's astounding. I'm telling you, this is going to be, I think we'll go from, I don't know where we were ranked in offense with the running back that they just got, these receivers that they have now, these weapons, and the tight end we just got. Man, dude, I think we can be in the upper echelon of offense this year in the league.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think when I'm talking about anywhere within the top 10, and if I had to guess, I think if that comes together the way I think it will, and Waldron schemes this the right way, I think they can easily be in the top 10 in offense. We already got a top 10 defense or better. You know what I mean? Now they just
I got them 7 or 8 offense, 7 or 8.
Yeah, and so you put all that together, they've got a recipe of something that could really, really take the league by storm next year. You gotta like it. I mean, I don't care what you think about Justin Fields. If he stays, you see what he can do if you put a certain kind of receiver around him. He's gonna thrive. He's gonna thrive. I think you guys need to be more open-minded. All the ones that aren't, don't get so wrapped up in your narrative you can't see what's going on here, man. We got some potential here.
Talk to me about the most important thing on the football field. And that's the offensive lineman. They just signed a couple. They signed Cole. They signed Coleman Shelton. Okay. He was starting. I don't know if I mentioned starting center for the Rams. Okay. And you also signed his backup. So now not only do you have a starter at center, but now you have a backup as well. And then not only that, but then they went and get Jake Curran. Okay. Another tackle for depth. Talk to me about this offensive line and how they've really shored up and made this thing almost like a real NFL team.
Right. I that's what I was up doing all night, man. Studying Keenan Allen, and then I went to these new offensive linemen that we pulled up. This guy right here, Jake Curran, on the screen. He's a massive dude, man. He can play everything. It appears, it appears as though right tackle, right guard is his kind of his bread and butter. He can play on the left side if you need him to. One thing that I saw that stuck out about him, and it was apparent, I looked at his scouting report too before he came out. One of the weaknesses is his hands were a little bit overly active and not disciplined. You'll see him if you go and take a look at him, you'll see in his kickback, his hands look like he's about to have an anxiety attack or something. But and I think
so he's like this, right? Is he like this?
Yeah, yes. He's got
as opposed to just wait, attack, boom, boom, boom.
Yes, that's exactly what you're gonna see. You're gonna see it over and over again, especially if you go from his college tape to his pros. It started to quiet down a little bit as he became a pro, but it's still there. And
so you mean he was coached? Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, geez, crazy.
Yeah, it's something to see, man. But you could tell, he was getting some good work, and somebody was, working with him on it. It's going to quiet down. Neither one of those guys are probably going to be starters, but what they are is good quality depth, and that's what we lacked on the offensive line. They're good quality depth, and they're brought into this situation to do what? To compete for a starting job. Who knows what happens when you put those guys in camp? I never, ever, no matter how we acquire a guy, where he came from, if he was a UD, I don't care what he is. You never know what's going to happen when you put him in a camp, mix him up with a bunch of dudes and let him compete. And so whatever you might think that he was, I just don't make no assumptions. I have to guess that they might not start, but who knows? Who knows?
Hey, look at this. Look at this. Look at our old friend.
Muck.
Muck the General. King Troll himself. If you think we traded for Keenan Allen to play with Justin Fields, you're delusional. If you think we traded for Keenan Allen and got to pay him $5 million on Sunday, just so you know, Muck, he's getting paid $23+ million this year. He's got to get paid $5 million on Sunday for a roster bonus, and you're going to put him with a quarterback that's going to develop. You're delusional.
Hey, Muck, you do understand. Hey, Muck, you do understand that Keenan Allen has the kind of cachet in this league that he could have refused that trade. He could have refused. He's got enough respect, especially if, man, I was probably looked at 3 Chargers podcasts, and I'm telling you right now, if he had said, you know what, no, you can't trade me to the Bears. Give me something else, man. Don't do me like that, dude. I'm a potential Hall of Famer here. People in San Diego not San Diego, but LA love me. He could have done that, man. Muck, you got to be kidding me, man. It's all right, man. It's going to be all right. It's going to be just fine. Justin Fields is the quarterback. It's going to be just fine, man.
Yep. It'll be okay. The Bears are going to win. You'll be happy.
Yep.
Where do you think, how big of a jump do you think Justin takes with this added offensive talent, with an upgrade in the offensive line, with an upgrade to the wide receiver core? Even if they don't add a wide receiver, which we assume, because we don't know, we assume that they will, and to even further bolster this. And then what if they get another tight end? I assume they're going to get another one. Plus all the disrespect he's seen, all the things, and let's be honest, football players are human. Okay, they see what you're saying, and if they don't see it, their people see it. You know that believe that. I don't care what you believe anything else. Believe that when people are talking about an athlete, their people see it, and his motivation is going to be through the roof. How big of a jump do you think Justin had? And then now, listen, he realizes who Shane Waldron is. He realizes what he's done with other quarterbacks. He realizes he hasn't had the best coaching to this point. How big of a jump do you think Justin has now that all these things are in his favor this year?
Yeah, here's what we have to consider. You just got to think about it in these terms. Number one, I don't think people really fully comprehend how important of a role that Chase Claypool was supposed to be under the circumstances.
Yep.
You take that piece out. He was the sure shot X receiver to be able to take some of the coverage away from DJ Moore, and so that no one could really focus on DJ Moore. He was able to put up career numbers with DJ Moore in situations where he was double teamed. Now you got somebody on the other side of him, and the layout kind of evens out. You can't safeties can't really jump and slide to one side or the other. Linebackers can't shade to one side or the other. Dude, he's gonna eat, man. He's gonna eat now. He's motivated now because he feels he's understanding that this is what Pose was trying to tell me. We're going to put some stuff around you and put the infrastructure around you to be able to thrive. You know, he did that minus Chase Claypool. They average about 24 to 30 points without Chase Claypool. Now you got a bona fide X receiver over there. You're going to onboard some new talent, some young talent from the draft. There's no telling. There's no telling. The separators that they have coming out of college between Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, guys like Odunze. I wouldn't say he's elite at separating, but I would say Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., you put them 1, 2, 3, and maybe Xavier Worthy, probably the most elite 4 guys at separating. And so you talking about they can do some real damage, and you know Justin Fields is deadly accurate. I mean, deadly accurate. He's going to rip this league up with those kind of pieces around him. There's no doubt about it. I couldn't believe how much he was able to do without Chase Claypool. He was just a key cog in what that thing was supposed to look like. All of a sudden, boom, he was gone, and people conveniently forgot that, like we're missing a whole piece. And you got different guys trying to, go out there and play the role that Chase Claypool was supposed to play, and they just kind of strolled through it, Shawn. That's all it was. It was sprinkle a guy in there, let him do this guy do this, let this guy do that, and it was incomplete. I mean, that's the best way you can look at it. What we saw last year was absolutely incomplete. It was sufficient, but it's absolutely incomplete. You was missing a whole piece that you needed.
And I think he's got it now. I think he's fired up, and I'm really looking forward to it. Talk to me about this running game, though. Talk to me about this running game. You just added a starter in DeAndre Swift. You still got Khalil Herbert, and you still got Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson, he's still going to be number 3. All right, Khalil was the starter until they traded for Swift. Talk to me about how competitive that's going to be, and talk to me how that's going to elevate the play of all 3 running backs.
Here's the thing: we got 2 running backs that pretty much the same running back. You just in a different number, man. They're one-cut downhill runners, and that's great. Every team needs physical downhill runners. That's what we are. We want to fashion ourselves as a running team, and so you need those types of guys. This is what we didn't have last year, and I told you on the show the other day. Treston Ebner was supposed to be a certain kind of back for us. He never did pan out, and what we did over the last couple of years since him was just try to, find pieces here and there, get people off practice squads and, sign different guys to try to fill the role that he never was able to fill. All you needed was a little shake and bake. That was what you needed. We needed shake and bake. We needed that guy with lateral agility, that foot quickness to make a guy miss in a hole when Justin is dumping the ball down and when they're running the ball. He is absolutely the piece that we needed. I thought it might come in the form of Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley, but I am not upset about them getting DeAndre Swift. I think he's going to bring an element to this backfield that we did not have, and a level of explosion coming from the backfield that we did not have. And so when you call those screen plays, and when you call those outside zones, and it's blocked up in a certain way, and the defense kind of covers it, and that cutback lane is there. We don't have the guys that really could exploit that. They didn't have that lateral agility to boom, see the whole cutback and exploit it. Those are good two good running backs, but this one is he's different. He's a lot different than what we've had since. We haven't seen anybody like him since Tariq Cohen.
Man, that's going to be. I'll tell you what, it's going to get very interesting, and I'm looking forward to March 21st. All right, March 21st is a big day for me because that is, I believe, that they're going to put that number 1 pick on the block. They're going to open it up, bidding. You know what? Let the bidding begin. Okay, because that's all the Bears are needing is his medicals, and once they get his medicals, because remember I've told you guys about my theory and how he's using the HIPAA laws, and again, kudos to his people. Okay, kudos to Caleb Williams' people. All right, but once he puts the number 1 pick on the trading block, it'll tell the NFL his medicals are okay without being able to tell the NFL his medicals were okay. And once that happens, man, not let the bidding begin. So it's gonna be really, really fun. It's gonna be exciting. I'm just so happy that I'm Keenan Allen, dude. Is just insane to me. It's just really, 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 really insane to me how Ryan Poles is working, man. It's insane. This dude, listen, if this guy isn't GM of the year, just get rid of that award. Just get rid of that award.
His patience is unique, and his ability to be able to get contracts that really fit the situation that we're in. Man, it took him a minute to get us out of that cap hell that we were in, and I think he's just been real stoic and just not. The leaks. What's funny is Shawn, is all these insiders that know everything knew nothing about these moves. Yeah. Absolutely nothing. Had no freaking idea, man. And not only that, I think he's some of the leaks that have come out, like the one in particular about the Giants and the I think it's the Saints, not the Saints, but the Patriots are interested in doing what they need to do to move up. When that came out, when that story came out, I kind of followed it, and it's I think that was a plant. I think Ryan Poles put that out there to let the Commanders know, like, look, man, I know you guys are wanting to do this. I know you intend on doing it, but this stalling and kind of short dogging me right now with what you want to offer, I'm just going to let you know if we need to, we will absolutely leapfrog you. We will absolutely leapfrog you. And I think he just ratcheted up the pressure with that. And I think that's good for us. All these people running around talking about, this is before they signed Keenan Allen last night, all the so-called, people give them clout. Our fan base gives them clout, and they sound like they know what they're doing. These people that supposed cat experts and, they do this and do that. And they're talking about Ryan Poles needs to sign a receiver. There's no reason why a receiver hasn't been signed. He's got the money. And I'm just like, dude, Ryan Poles knows what he's doing. That was the weakest receiver free agency class that I've seen in a while. So it did not surprise me that he didn't dip into it. But some of the dollars that I'm pretty sure some of those guys are going to get, it didn't surprise me that he didn't dip into the free agency class. I thought it was weak from the jump. He had a plan all along, and that was to get, trade for a guy. And now he's down to 4 picks now? Pick up Caleb Williams, he's down to 3.
He's like Brumman from the 5th floor.
Yeah, what you gonna do with that, man? Hey, Shawn, this draft is insanely talented with the very pieces that we need the most. Offensive line, receiver. I mean, it is thick. This is if you have to get a haul and you need pieces to really build your team. You got significant holes at certain positions, wide receiver and offensive line. This is the draft that you would want extra picks for, because you can build your team for a long time just off the pieces that are in this draft.
Look at this, bro. Look at this comment. And no, not you, silly head. And North Carolina Bears fan. Hey, thank you for tuning in. It's the first time I've seen you in the chat. Hope you're enjoying the content. Please come on over and make sure you subscribe to Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel. All right, we're trying to do a lot of things for you guys, and make sure you go follow Nomad, the Nomad Network as well. Keenan Allen left Justin Herbert. Do you really think he did it because he wants to play with an unproven rookie in the NFL?
Hell no, he left because he saw what DJ did with Justin, and he feels like he can put up similar kinds of numbers and be a compliment to what they're doing. Not only that, I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here, man. Here's the situation in LA. There were I think 4 guys, maybe 5 guys that were approached to get for contract restructuring. Khalil Mack was one. He went along with it. Joey Bosa was another one. He went along with it. Might be a couple of linemen. I think Gerald Everett might have been one, but he ended up leaving. And so that's all it was. And it said, and basically Keenan Allen had enough cachet to pretty much, if other teams were out there, which I'm sure there were, if he was going to get traded, he had his pick of the litter. I'm sure he liked what Justin brought to the table and how DJ performed under Justin. You want you want to go to a situation that you think is kind of brimming and kind of on the brink of busting through that threshold that we've been kind of held back by. And anybody with eyes and can really study what's been going on the past couple of years, and then you get into like mid to late last year and start seeing the games and how much improvement, how you start to see the lights turn on with this offense and the defense. But in particular on the offense, they start to really turn a corner. And people can see that. You know, if you're a football person, you're not just wrapped into the box score and how many numbers somebody puts up, completions, how many, you know, the yardage you get. You're looking at the whole entire thing. And when you look at the whole entire thing, all he did was see how he fits into the puzzle. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that trade. Send me to Chicago.
Yep. And Illinois Jones, Nomad, Rome wasn't built in a day. All the holes won't be filled this offseason. No one said they were. But I'll tell you what, a hell of a lot of these holes are going to be filled.
Damn right.
Yeah. Pause. In the offseason. Because now you have a starting center. Okay. We have our starting guards in Nasty Nate and Tevin Jenkins. We have our starting right tackle in Darnell Wright. We have our starting left tackle. Whether you think there's an upgrade or not, it doesn't matter. We still have a guy who's played 2 seasons and done very well for us. Okay, at the left tackle. So we have the start. Now we got a starting line. All right, we have our starting quarterback. We upgraded the running back room. We just added another receiver. Okay, what holes do we have? Okay, edge rusher. Okay, there's a legitimate one. 3 tech. Okay, there's a legitimate one. But you have an emerging young man in Javon Dexter. And what if he takes a step forward? I think we're still going to address that in the draft and maybe free agency. But other than that, we got our free safety. We replaced one Pro Bowler or one All Pro with another All Pro. So what other holes are there? You know what I mean? What other holes except for depth? And that's not a hole. When we're talking holes, we're talking fill for starters. Literally 3 tech and an edge is all we need now. Nothing more, nothing less. Getting a wide receiver helps. It helps. It'll add to that wide receiver room. But man, there's only a couple holes left, 2 holes left, and that could be one could be addressed in free agency, and the other one could be addressed in the draft. There's not a lot of holes left to fill, in my opinion.
You're mostly right, man. I believe. See, I think the depth. I think that's so important. You know, like the really, really good teams that compete from year in and year out. They're layered.
Yes.
Like you watch a Eagles game. And, you know, you're going to see injuries, attrition. You know, that's just the way the world works in the NFL. You know, guys are going to come, they're going to go, they're going to be in, they're going to be out. And one thing you notice with the Eagles, the Ravens, teams like I can't say so much the Steelers now, but in the past, you notice really good teams, San Francisco. When one goes down, you don't notice the difference. And so to me, it's like depth is like a whole other game within itself. And when you got layered talent on your team and you don't really see the real drop-off, when a guy gets injured, that's when you know you're cooking with fish grease, Jack. You're cooking with fish grease now. And so I think, like you said, I think the starting roles, there's a few holes that fill, no doubt about it. But the depth, I think, to me, I always concentrate on this, Shawn. I always look at who's 2, who's 3 on the depth chart. And if guys go down, how are we looking? Because late in seasons, that's kind of what you're going to be dealing with. Guys are going to be in and out of the lineup. And if your 2 and your 3 aren't somewhere in the neighborhood or even close to as good as the guy that's playing 1, then you're going to struggle. And so
Nomad, let me tell him. So you're a DB, okay? You're a DB. What happens when somebody goes out and when a DB goes out? What does the offense usually do?
Target practice.
Who do they target? Who do they go after right away?
Right after the unpolished one or the one that's lower,
one just came in.
Yeah, that's what you do, man. You know, you a DB, those DBs they have to be coached up right, and they've got to have a certain level of talent. They've got to they need to have seen enough football. In the last couple of years, we've been bringing young DBs up and throwing them right into the hot grease, man, and they've been learning. And I think what those guys have cataloged and what they're going to bring to the table come next year is going to be something different and something special to see. Now, go ahead. You about to say something?
Yeah, and I was saying, and so that's what. And if you don't think if you don't think that defensive coordinators, and I'll tell you because I was a defensive coordinator, okay? If you don't think they got, and I had one guy say, hey, they switched to new lineman. A new lineman went in. Their offensive lineman went out. So if you don't think that when a fresh, jersey clean offensive lineman comes into a game, I'm not going to run a stunt on him. I'm not going to send pressure up either side of him. You don't think I'm going to do that? You better ask somebody, and that's exactly what NFL defensive coordinators do. Oh, he's new? All right, we're going to put him in a position. You know what? I'm going to throw that stunt at him that they don't have on tape that we just put in this week. I'm going to throw this at them, and that's what they're going to do. So when you have guys who are capable backups, man, oh man, oh man.
And we got punished early in the season, especially not this past season, but the season before that. We got punished in the secondary. Our safeties, that was the weakest position on the team. If you had to ask me, if I broke it down, I don't know that it even got better last year. I think we were a starter. The two starters were decent, but after that, it was absolutely, hit and miss. The guys that we had out there, they just wasn't the depth that we needed. And they went right away. Right away, they went out there and shored up that backside of the defense and got safeties and some good secondary help. And I feel like it's night and day how I feel about the backside of the defense as opposed to even this season that just passed. The guys that we got some quality depth now in the secondary. Some real quality depth. And so, I think people ought to not ignore that. Those guys weren't just chopped meat, man. Those guys, the guy they just signed from what was Green Bay? I forget his name off the top of my head. The one that's married to
Mr. Simone Biles.
Yeah, Mr. Biles. Yeah, that guy's not chopped meat, man. They needed somebody that could back up Jaquan and play in the box and get back the guy you needed. And so they're I'm telling you, they are building up, and they felt like this year could have been a run minus some letdowns on the defense. Maybe a game that Justin fumbled late in the game when they were driving, and he coughed up the ball. Somebody hit him from behind. I never can remember that game, but that was Justin. But then it was the defense that kind of let him down. It was coach. It was the coach not having him in position. Yep. He kind of got his foot off the gas and got a little too conservative and cost him, maybe 3-4 games. And if we're looking at a record where you add 3-4 games to a 7-win record, now we're talking about a situation where you're probably talking about playoffs, and are we even having this conversation? And so I think people need to think about that as they make these assumptions about what Justin is and what this team is or isn't. I think it was a team that was brimming on making a playoff push, but, some things happened, and they were let down, mostly by the coaches. And so, go ahead.
No, I agree. And I'm running out of time. But hey, Nomad, great stuff, Papa, as always, man. I am, we're in lockstep, bro. We look at things differently because of our experience, and I love it. And again, I'm not being condescending to anybody. All right, it's just we have experience. Like, it's when you look at things differently. Like if you're a mechanic, you can just take a ride in a car like, okay, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, because of your experience. It doesn't make the person who doesn't know anything about cars, right, stupid. It doesn't make it at all. It's just we have a lot of experience playing football at a high level, coaching it at a high level, and so we see things and we look at things a little differently. So great stuff, man. And do me a favor before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online. Let them know about today, which I won't be on today because I'll be at the Sox-Cubs game, but
yeah. Man, the man that chose the sorry socks over his homie.
Leave my crappy White Sox alone, all right?
Hey, so you guys, you can find me at Nomad Network, on Twitter, and of course at the Nomad.